Well, it's Sunday and it's 63, and the dogs are actually sitting in my lap, which is a shocker. Odin is a very paranoid dog. Everything that makes a bump scares him to death. I've tried everything, and it's because of the fireworks, and it's a shame. And I'm not going to put him on tranquilizers and anxiety pills, because he's just going to have to get over it and get used to it. I'm not going to have him on a bunch of drugs because he's afraid of his own shadow. He's been that way since I got him. So, and I'll never know what caused that. I'm sure it had to do with guns going off in his neighborhood and things like that, drive-bys and stuff, which is too bad, but at least the fireworks have stopped at night now, so far. I'm just sitting, I already walked all the way here, and I'm sitting on the moss, which is really quite comfortable, actually. We're just sitting here for a little while. It's, I forget, I think it's like 3:30. I don't know why I have a yellow box with a lightning strike through it on my phone. Not quite sure what that means. Huh. I'll have to check. Maybe it means I don't have internet or something. Well, of course I would have internet here. I'm not going to stay here very long today because have you ever been somewhere and you thought you were alone? And excuse me. And you had the most feeling of doom come over you, and just creepiness. And I'm not that's occurred to me maybe 10 times in the last 20 years. But I'm just totally creeped out for some reason in here, and I don't know why. So I don't know. I can't explain it. But I don't like that feeling. It's like the hair on the back of your neck. It's not deer. The deer really don't scare me. But I have this just weird, ominous thing going on. And it's so quiet right now, you can hear a pin drop. When I first was coming towards this area, the crows were just going nuts. They were so loud. And when the animals and the critters stop making noise, it alerts me. So, and the crows were making really weird noises too, like not the usual types that I've heard before. So, I don't know. Definitely not afraid of the forest. But you have to be cautious to your surroundings if something seems off. And I've been coming here, like I said before, for almost a year. And something seems really off, so we're not going to stay here very long. I don't think I've ever come here on a Sunday. Well, maybe I have. I can't remember. I don't really like coming here on the weekend because of all the tourists and stuff. Because I guess a lot of them don't think they need to leash their dogs. I took Freya's thing off her face because her dew claw seems to be a lot better. But I don't want her trying to get it off her face and getting her dew claw caught in it until she heals up. I think she just snagged her dew claw on a branch and bruised it. She seems to be fine today. I haven't heard her yip or anything. And we've gone over some branches, but we haven't done the normal climbing all over the place stuff. I don't want to do that with her right now. So, but she was getting antsy in the apartment. Her and Odin needed a walk in the forest today. And he's a real doofy dog. He doesn't want his canned dog food. Man, I don't know what's going on. He doesn't want his canned dog food at all. So she's going to have an extra couple of cases of canned dog food. And then he likes his dry stuff, so he's going to keep getting his dry stuff. So, and that's just fine. She sounds like a little pig foraging. I'm just waiting for her to fart again. Hey, Freya, Odin's being real nice and quiet. There, now sit in my lap. There you go. Odin, you can sit on the ground. You can sit down on the ground. I don't know if all Chihuahuas and Min Pin mixes are as talkative as she is. She's the most talkative dog I've ever had in my life. I want to sit. Oh, I found out what those tapes mean around the trees. Let me think if I can remember it correctly. The blue ones mean the trees need to be removed, and the red ones mean leave the trees there. So that's what that means. The orange dots are orange, is to leave the trees alone, and then the blue is to remove them. Because I was looking up at the Oregon Forestry Department, trying to find out what the different colors on the trees meant. So there's only one that I can see down here with a orange tape on it. Come here. Just sit down, Freya. And those those inchworm things that are hanging from the trees Those are an invasive species and can hurt trees and damage them really bad, their nests. So hopefully I'm sure there's probably a bug or some kind of bird that'll eat those things. Because I'm not seeing a bunch of them today. But now I know what all those little, those webby nests are around the trees. And where I grew up, they would actually, little tiny saplings, they would encase the whole thing. Like one big spider web. But it wasn't a spider web, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, some kind of a web. And it was just full of those inchworms. It was just awful. We're just going to listen to the birds. You're giving me kisses. Give me kisses. You get so jealous, Odin. We're gonna hear the birds, Freya. I didn't even game last night at all. Well, actually I did for a little while. I love sniper games. Oh, I heard the raven. That's far away. Oh, no, he's not. But I spent all evening, or all night, I guess, watching documentaries on YouTube, Freya down here, about some different bands that are my favorites that have had really disastrous things happen to some of their members and stuff. One of my favorite bands has always been Alice in Chains, and when they found what's his name, Stanley, I think it's Stanley, in his house dead, he'd been there for a couple of weeks. It was just a tragedy. When you look at the very first video, which is my favorite band in a box, and you can see how his eyes actually have life in them, you know, and he's not wearing sunglasses, and well, he isn't part of it, but he's young and he doesn't look like a big mess yet. And then when you see him further on, it's just tragic. What heroin and other drugs can do to these people, these great bands. And then my second favorite band, excuse me, is Slipknot. And some of the stuff that happened to Corey Taylor has just been tragic, and other band members. A lot of people are afraid of them, you know, afraid of their masks and everything. I love them. I think Corey Taylor's awesome. I've got a couple of his, he's got a couple of audio books, and I got the one about his paranormal experiences in this house he lived in that he hasn't talked about on air much, but that's why I got the book. I wanted to understand, since I like the paranormal stuff. And then another band, my favorite song from Slipknot is called Duality, and then one called Iowa, and then Scissors, for personal reasons. And he's had bad things happen to him when he was a kid too. And then another one was Korn, and I've always loved Korn too. And he had horrible stuff happen to him too when he was little. And all of them have been into drugs, been addicted, and you know, some of them are still alive, which is good. But it's just sad. Some of the best bands in the world, you know, have had this stuff happen to them. So that's what I was doing last night, was watching the documentaries about them, about their lives and stuff, and it's just tragic. And then Foo Fighters is another one of my favorites. And his mom, I think it was his mom that passed away. And then they lost a band member. And it was tragic seeing him crying when he sings about these people. There's a song that I just love, and I watched it. I think it's called The Teacher. And that's one of my favorites too. I love Foo Fighters too. So and then I watched a full Slipknot concert I think it was in the UK last night. I watched a couple of his concerts, or their concerts, and the one I watched, the guy is 49 years old, or maybe even 50, and he just kicks butt on stage. I'm surprised he even has a voice. But yeah, that was fascinating. And the people that follow him, or his fans, just amazing. They love the group. So that's what I did instead of gaming last night. The song Duality, what they did was, there was a, I don't know if they lived in the house, but there was a house that was going to be demolished in Iowa, which is Corey's home state, and he invited anybody who wanted to show up to just come in and completely destroy that house. And I mean, it looks like thousands of people showed up, and they were singing inside the house. And there's one part where there's people that fell through the ceiling, and some people did get hurt, like they broke windows and everything, but they compensated everybody for any of their injuries. And I think that's fantastic that a band will get that close to its fans, and I mean, I didn't see like a bunch of bodyguards or anything. I did see a couple guys, security guys, keeping a couple of them off, a couple of the band members. But man, it's a song that causes a lot of anger and lets rage come out, and pretty much all the people that were in that video were letting out their rage on that house, and they were like jumping off the roof and onto a car that was, the car was no good, it was demolished, and it was just awesome watching that. So that was very enjoyable. All right, you want to get going? You want to go? It's okay. Okay, we go. Okay. I guess we're going to get going. Hope you enjoyed my yakking. And as far as bands that I like, don't judge, please. To each their own. Have a nice Sunday, and we'll talk to you later.